Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the stream. We're here for the Alpha Team League Finals between Psionic and Ris3n. I am your caster Snoopy, and I'm joined by my co-caster Salavanth.
How are you guys going? It is the finals of the Alpha Team League. One way or another, this all ends today. A single best of 5, Pro League style, with an ace at the end.
Yep, we started pretty much on the Team League started January 21, so pretty much exactly 2 months from today. So here we are in the finals.
Ris3n has gone completely undefeated in this tournament. Psyx only a single loss, actually to Ris3n. But we have a better roster today than we did then.
Yeah, we lost actually 3-1, so hopefully we see some more competitive play. And let's see, we have both players in the lobby, and it is going to be on Neon Valley Square, our first map for today. And we're just making sure that server is on US East.
Yes, servers can be tricky. So we have a new acquisition in today's game. We have Hino, someone who's been in the clan for a few weeks but wasn't there for our first match against Ris3n, which is the crucial point here.
Yeah, he's a new pickup and pretty big pickup for us, as he's a pretty high GM level player.
Yeah, Hino actually won the Psyx MVP tournament, our internal unrestricted tournament, only dropping a single map in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And Guitar Cheese, our second player, did not actually play in that tournament. He's extremely good as well.
Alright, yeah, that's true.
So I can't wait to see how this all unfolds.
Mm-hmm. Alright, looks like both players are ready. So here we go. Countdown has begun. Hashtag hype.
First match will be a ZVP on Neon Violet Square.
Thank you, Jedi Zella, for the 25 cheers. Starting off the stream in a nice way. Alright, here we go. I believe Salvan just disconnected from the voice. Hopefully it's not too bad. But anyhow, I'm just going to go ahead and introduce our players in the meantime. So here at the 11 o'clock position, we have our yellow Protoss here. Representing Ris3n, it is a Fight Some Crime. And at the bottom, at the 5 o'clock position, we have the Red Zerk. Representing Team Psyx, it is Hino. Alright, so Fight Some Crime actually was a player for Ris3n that actually played in the regular season against us. It was pretty much the last regular season match for Team Psyx, and we Fight Some Crime actually played in that. So hopefully he can pull up the same result, a win. Oh, Salamat, you're back?
Yeah, I'm actually an idiot. I was getting a ton of spam on Discord, so I closed it, but we were on Discord for voice chat. It took me a full minute to realize what I'd done.
Oh man, that's funny.
Professional casters right here. We are the best. Oh my god. Anyway, I hope you managed to introduce the players, because when I introduced them, I don't think anybody heard me.
Yeah, I introduced the players.
Okay. So it looks like pretty normal openings from both sides right so far. Both sides not looking to get any super early cheese done, which makes sense. Neon Violet Square is a big map. If you are going to cheese, you at least do need to have a little bit of economy behind it. The next thing we'll really want to look at is to see if Hino wants to make more drones, because 19 drones is a good point to stop if you do want to do some sort of all-in. But pulling drones off gas means probably not. Probably just going to be building, just going to be building some drones and continuing on into a macro game.
And he's also getting some speed, which is pretty good on this map, as there's a lot of entry points, and it's a pretty big map, as you said. So the Lynx can run around and explore around, search around. In the meantime.
And Fight Some Crime taking advantage of the new patch to go for a Twilight Council. Now, Stargate, still probably going to be the standard in this matchup, still very strong, but it is much less of a gamble to go for non-Stargate tech now. Because the Overlord drop is now much harder to do, much easier to scout. It requires a lair instead of an Evo chamber, so that's an extra 75 minerals and 100 gas, and you can see the lair building.
Yeah, that's a good point. The patch just went live this Monday, so let's see if that actually comes into play. So far we have a depth from Fight Some Crime. Gonna go ahead and will it shade in and complete the shade? Oh, it does.
Just going into that empty third base, seeing if that's been taken, but it's actually been taken on the low ground, and Hino is calling for a pause. Getting lag spikes, apparently.
So, I think hopefully the lag spike does not affect too much of Hino's gameplay.
Only a referee can unpause it.
Okay, still flying?
Aren't you a referee?
I'm not sure.
Game resumed.
Alright, so let's go ahead and resume game. Overlord for Hino in the main of Fight Some Crime gonna go down, but does scout the Twilight Council and the Robo.
Adept will fall meanwhile on the main base to Hino's speedlings. I have closed the stream that I had just paused, because just in case it's causing any problems for the player. And we do see a Dark Shrine coming up from Fight Some Crime, so it looks like we're going to see that Archon drop. 3 gates should be on the way. We'll see if these Lynx manage to get anything done, but they don't. There's a shield battery there. They're not going to get in there at all.
Oh, look at
an
what
Overlord
we
drop
have
is
here.
not possible.
Yeah, the Overlord drop cannot be possible anymore, so now he's going to throw down the Dark Shrine, cannot even be scouted anymore, as the Overlord did fall.
Yeah, but I think Hino knows what's up. He's building Spore Crawlers. He's building a Roach Warren.
Yeah, it looks like he's got the Spore Crawlers on the way. Roach Warren is going to be about done.
So yeah, I think he knows. He suspects that, alright, I see a Twilight Council this early. The only real reason you're going to do that is to do an Archon drop. It's probably not some sort of like charge or glaives type of all-in, because you'd need a Robo off that anyway, just for the War Prism. So I'm just going to assume that this is, in fact, the DT drop, and that's exactly what it is. That is a very bold place to warp in these DTs, though, right?
Yeah.
Just right in Hino's face.
Okay,
Hino's like, no, you can't actually do that.
Yep, good denied by Hino, and it's going to force Fight Some Crime to actually morph those DTs into some Archons, and he's going to go ahead and harass. No second War Prism though, so he can't do any double prong attack. Instead, he's looking to actually grab his dirt, I think.
Yeah, well, there is no third at the moment. I would expect one of those two things, either double Warp Prism or the third, to have been taken by now. But I guess the third is going to go down right just in a moment. It's okay that these DTs were fended off, because the DTs are really just to make the Archons. If they get any damage done, that really is just a bonus. But so far, Hino is completely on top of this with those Roaches. Good micro from Fight Some Crime will take out these Zerglings, but it's the Roaches and Ravagers that are really going to fend this off. But Fight Some Crime's going to be able to keep moving between this main base and this third, which is very close by air but very far by ground. And the bases aren't even actually connected with creep yet. So there are enough units here, but they do need to be in position. Fight Some Crime's just going to keep on being annoying with this. In the meantime, taking third, getting a bunch more gates, and moving towards that mid game. Well, we have a lot of roaches from Hino. I think he might actually want to go for a counterattack. He's going for +1 missile attacks. He's going for roach speed. I think he wants to deny this and then go to the other side of the map and try and do some real damage to fight some Chrome.
Yeah, but he's got to take care of this annoying War Prism drop as I think Fight Some Crime is doing a great job just maneuvering around the dirt and the main base.
Yeah, it looks like Hino's lag spikes have evened themselves out because he's defending very well. And he's got a few roaches in the main. In the meantime, it looks like he's going to be moving across the map, or at least taking out some of these rocks. And I do not like this move out from Fight Some Crime at all. I've seen it in the GSL, where you go for like 3 Immortals, or 3 to 5 Immortals and a few Archons, and you move out against this Roach Ravager force, but this is not the way that Stats did it yesterday. There's just so many units and so few units to Fight Some Crime. He's got like 1 Immortal against this Roach Ravager force, and but Hino's actually going for a counterattack. I'd like to see him just defend this. I think he could have just completely stopped it, and he's now moving back. He sees what's up. Fight Some Crime has actually outmaneuvered him a little bit here. He needs to get all these units past these squares. One of the Archons is very exposed, may actually fall.
Might get flanked though. It might actually work into his favor. Oh my god.
That is a really good flank, and here Hino comes. Like I said, there's only 1 Immortal. That's not what you want against these Ravagers and Roaches, and it is going to get taken down, and there's not even charge. And all of this is probably going to get cleaned up in the end. Yes, it is. The Ravagers all staying alive. Almost all the Roaches dying, but the Ravagers are the key units here. And almost all of them live. And excellent defense from Hino.
Oh man, that was actually scary at first for Hino, but again, because he actually went and moved out with his army, he actually got, I guess, accidentally got a flank on that army, on that fight. So well done by Hino there.
It is worth noting that Hino has had to build a lot of units to defend himself. He's actually behind in workers right now, even though he's massively ahead in army. So he needs to get a counterattack done. He needs to get some things happening, but there is exactly 1 Immortal out on the map for Fight Some Crime.
Yeah, look at the army supply. It is 67 to 36. That's a lot.
And what matters is what the army is composed of. A single Archon, a single Immortal, 2 Sentries, a few slow Zealots, and a few Stalkers.
Yeah.
This is just not the army that can beat like 8, 9 Ravagers. Hino could really do some serious damage or even win the game with this push. Good force field goes down.
Oh, good dodge there though of the Caressifier, but oh man.
Oh, but it doesn't last forever, and now all of these Zealots are bunched up and doing nothing as they try and funnel through this tiny gap. Hino takes a massive lead, destroys the Archon. The force fields are good, but the Ravagers can actually blast them down if given enough time. This Immortal just gonna get dived on, and I think that's gonna be game number 1.
Yeah, pros being pulled by Fight Some Crime. He's gonna try to make this one last stand, but so much Ravagers and so much units for Hino here.
The Immortal goes down, there's nothing but Stalkers left against Ravagers, and they just cannot do the job, and Fight Some Crime says GG. Hino takes game number 1 and proving why he won that MVP Cup.
Yeah, that's a great play by Hino. And yep, Psyx go up 1-0.
Looked a bit touch and go there, but all in all, I think Hino was just completely prepared for that move out. If you have a few Immortals, that move out can be really strong against a Roach Ravager force.
Yeah.
Which we saw in the GSL yesterday. Did you see the GSL yesterday?
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's what we saw there, but there's a big difference between 3 Immortals and 1.
Yeah.
And I think we'll just see what that is.
Stats, I think I remember this one game from Stats and Catalyst. He had like, I don't know, like 12 Immortals or something. It was like a Mortal Fest.
Oh yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah.
He just moved them, he just like lost everything else, but then just moved the Immortals to the hatchery and just killed it in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of my games go, actually. Though obviously not against opponents of Sue's caliber.
Yeah, that was actually a really great match.
I often don't have the courage to actually pull the trigger like Stats did and move on to the creep with nothing but Immortals and an Archon and kill the hatchery. Sometimes I'll just back away and be like, alright, I kept my Immortals alive, great. They're value units, everything's fine, and then the Zerg shows up with Broodlords and I'm like, oh. So not very much like Stats. And also, I don't want to like speak ill of Fight Some Crime. He's a much better player than I am. But Hino just seemed... Maybe Hino was Hino did commit a lot to Roaches and Ravagers, whereas if Hino had been trying to tech up the Hydralisks, that move out might have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Hino basically just stayed on Roach Ravager all game, and that's not really something you usually do. So it's not like the move out was just always going to lose the game. But based on what Hino had, it wasn't the right move at that time. But I guess that Fight Some Crime wasn't able to quite get the scouting that he needed.
All right. So oh, go ahead.
Our next game will be Prototype versus Guitar Cheese, and it will be a ZVZ between two very strong players, two Grandmasters.
And it will be on Backwater. Now,
Yeah, which is an interesting map.
Yeah, Backwater has that pocket third. But there are a lot of games in the past where Zerg will Overlord drop and can abuse that map, and it pretty much usually works out. But again, with that nerf, it's going to be more difficult.
And Overlord drops were never really the best in ZVZ anyway. What I think the key thing in ZVZ on this map is, basically there's two main strategies you can do in ZVZ. If you're not going to go for a quick all-in. You can go for 3-hatch Ling main, or you can go for 2-hatch, except you're going to be only on 2 bases for a while. And wall off with Roaches and Evo Chambers, and go for faster Roach attack. But on Backwater, you can do both. You can wall yourself off and still have 3 bases available instead of 2. You don't need to wait for those Roaches to go out and take that 3rd base. So I think fast Roach play might be the way for both players to go here, if neither of them goes for any early aggression. Because that seems to be the dominant style on a map where you have a pocket third like this one.
Yeah.
But we might see some... If everyone knows that it's the dominant strategy to do it, maybe someone will come up with something to meta against that, something to counter it. So we'll have to see. We'll have to find out.
Let's go ahead and introduce our players.
Was just about to. In the top left, the Green Zerg representing Ris3n, trying to get a map up on the board. It is Prototype. And in the bottom right, trying to bring it to match point already. Representing Psionic Aftermath, it is Guitar Cheese. A best of 5 can be over very quickly, one way or the other.
Yeah,
especially
with the ZVZs in this game.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of chances. So it'll be interesting to see if Prototype can bring it back. We do have a pull first for Prototype and a hatch first for Guitar Cheese, so slight build order advantage, but hardly a game ender. By any means. And it looks like we're gonna see gasless styles coming out of both players, at least early on. Oh no, Guitar Cheese does take the gas, just a bit late. And they're gonna make the pull, so hatch gas pull, fairly normal. Whereas pull hatch gas for Prototype, so both sides pretty much gonna end up in the same place. Guitar Cheese might have an extra drone or two, but really not a big deal in the end. Both sides sending out their overlords to scout, see what's up. Make sure there's no early lings coming across the map, but there's not. Both sides confident to go into the 2-base game.
Interesting by Prototype, he actually got the fast pull, so I was actually expecting like maybe some 6 Zerglings or 8 Zerglings to put on some pressure, but instead he's actually just gonna go for only like I think 2 Zerglings. So I guess he just wanted to play safe. But I think just based on the openings, the build orders, I think Guitar Cheese got the edge there.
Yeah, but again, it is a small edge, and if Guitar Cheese was going for some sort of early aggression, Prototype would have been in a great situation to hold it. Maybe he just took a chance, thought that Guitar Cheese might be more aggressive than he was. Prototype, people of this caliber have probably met each other on ladder a few times, because there's just so few people at that level, and they play so much just to stay at that level. So maybe Prototype knows something about Guitar Cheese from his latter games, and we do see a Baneling Nest coming out of Guitar Cheese pretty quick. So I did say we were likely to see those Roaches, but it looks like Guitar Cheese has no interest in doing that. But at the same time, Prototype is going to scout this Baneling Nest pretty much the second it goes up, which is really nice, and even getting his own Baneling Nest at a good time. Guitar Cheese up on a couple of drones, well, just one now. with the new hatchery being thrown down. And we'll have a slightly faster third.
Yep. Overlord for prototype does scat that though, so he should. Yep. It looks like he's gonna go ahead and take his own dirt here.
Yeah. So really, all in all, just a pretty ordinary game. Prototype takes the worker lead, but that's okay because Katachi's takes the early third. Takes a third. That's something Sumi and I noticed when casting the Taco Cup qualifier, which was basically 5 hours of mostly ZVZs. That if you want to take a third base, basically that does cut into your drone count, so it's sort of a trade-off. You can't just have the constant work production and take the third base at the same time, like you can as Terran or Protoss, because you have to take that third so much faster as Zerg. We do see a bunch of links coming across the map for Guitar Cheese. Probably going to want to make some banelings and get some aggression done. But we already have 4 defensive banelings on the way from Prototype. We have actually 4 banelings already on the way from Guitar Cheese. This could do some serious damage, but good defense from Prototype, all in all. Banelings pop just in time. He's actually, Guitar Cheese is actually going to go after this third base, but it's not going to be able to be stopped.
Oh.
But the Queens are out of position. He could go into the main, but he chooses not to. Sends the links behind the mineral lines, tries to trade off as best he can, but overall good defense from Prototype so far, taking an 8 supply lead and going for a Roach Warren. But Katachi's already getting a Roach Warren faster. Man, these plays are so fast I cannot keep up. Every time I say one of them might do something, they've already done it 20 seconds ago, and we have 4 defensive banelings on the way from Katachi's, preparing for the counter-attack, which he knows is coming, as Prototype wants to get some damage done of his own. Katachi's doesn't have many lings, he's making more. He's making 6 banelings actually, so that's a lot of banes. So Prototype's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna back off. I've got my lair on the way, I've got +1. I have an advantage in the later game. And he does, because Katachi's, I don't think he even has an Evo chamber up yet, and +1 is already on the way, lair already on the way. For Prototype. Oh, a couple of banes will get taken down on their way across the map, trying to get some damage done. And Katachi's got 9 drones on the way, so he's going to take the drone lead himself. This game sort of seesawing a bit back and forth economically.
Oh,
but
yeah.
we do have the tech advantage from Prototype to make... That baneling hit was almost so good. And he's actually trades 2 banelings for 3, but that's not going to be good enough. That's some good baneling connects, but in the end, still not enough to actually break Prototype. But that does give Guitar Cheese a bit of a lead. He's actually making... Wow, 12 drones from Guitar Cheese, 14 drones from Prototype. Both sides just smashing those drones. Smashing that D button. And getting a ton of drones on that third base. +1 now on the way for Guitar Cheese, but very late compared to Prototype. And the layer only just started.
Mm-hmm.
One thing to note is Guitar Cheese's vision is just a little bit better than Prototype. Both sides do have good vision, but overall, Guitar Cheese is going to be seeing any flanks coming very fast. And both sides have pretty similar drone counts, so all in all I give a slight edge to Prototype here. Because he's got the +1, he's got the roach speed, can have it much faster. He's getting +2, while +1 is still only like 30% finished for Guitar Cheese. So Prototype's going to have a 1 upgrade lead for basically this entire game. At least until +2 is finished for Guitar Cheese, because Prototype might not go for the Carapace.
Yeah, that could be pretty huge when they go for the Roach versus Roach fight, the big fight.
It definitely could, but Guitar Cheese is starting to take a supply lead. Although Guitar Cheese is taking a supply lead because he's making a lot of roaches, while Prototype's continuing to make drones and going into Hydralisks. So Guitar Cheese is the one who really needs to get something done. The fourth base coming up at similar times for both players, though a little bit faster for Prototype. So all in all, I think Guitar Cheese might want to go when he has roach speed, but he might be able to hit when he has an upgrade, when he's neutral on upgrades. After +1 finishes for him, but before +2 finishes for Prototype. And that might be a good timing to attack this 4th base, try and get something done. Prototype is taking the Hydralisks, that is going to take some time to pay off. He's getting Hydra range, and +1 Carapace actually, so he's got a lot of money invested in upgrades that are going to take a few minutes to get done. As well as that Hydralisk range upgrade, which isn't very good unless you actually have Hydralisks, which Prototype doesn't have yet, though he's probably going to make... No, he's making a bunch of roaches. He sees this move out. So I think Guitar Cheese is going to want to get some damage done, and he just might get that chance.
This is a huge roach army. Oh my god, 90 to 70 army supply there.
Yeah, and a lot of that army is still in the eggs. That will be done by the time it comes across the map. Roach speed just gonna finish just in time. +2 on the way, but +2 is so close for Prototype. Guitarcheese needs to go, and he needs to go essentially as soon as Roach speed finishes, i.e. right now. He's gonna get a good concave on this. He's gonna be able to use the hatchery to block off his opponent's Roaches. We'll see how much damage this actually gets done. Good engagement from Guitarcheese, hits with those Corrosive Biles, while Prototype's Corrosive Biles force Guitarcheese back into a position, and Guitarcheese just moves forward. He's just diving onto these Ravagers, and if these Ravagers have no defense, that could actually be huge. Guitarcheese is going to hit all these vulnerable Ravagers. They need Roaches to defend them, and suddenly Guitarcheese taking a massive lead in this game.
What a timing by Guitarcheese here.
Yeah, great Corrosive Biles from Prototype, but it's just not enough. This fourth base is 100% going to go down.
100.
Well, not 100% if Guitarcheese wants it. He might actually choose to fight instead. Okay, so I should not say 100% because that would not actually go down. But still, Guitarcheese getting some good damage done, getting some good trades. Doesn't really do any economic damage, but does do some good damage to the army of Prototype, and now takes a nice supply lead.
Well, Guitarcheese actually was a 10 worker supply. I mean, yeah, 10 workers behind during the beginning of the fight, but now pretty much even, I would say.
I love how Guitarcheese has morphed all of these really, really injured Roaches into Ravagers to bring the health of that army back up. He had like 7 Roaches on like the deep red health, and now they're all full health Ravagers for the second wave. And despite Prototype having a Hydralisk, then he hasn't been able to spend it, but now it is a 2 upgrade lead for Prototype. +2 is not yet done for Guitarcheese. He's anti-timed himself, and he's being hit with a flank from 2 sides. This can actually be a really good trade for Prototype. Yeah. But does Guitarcheese just have too much? It looks like with these Speedlings coming in, it's going to be so close, but it looks like Prototype might just hold on. Wow, these Zerglings actually getting right on top of these Roaches, and drones are being pulled off the line, but in the end it is just enough. +2 finishes at just the wrong time, and these Ravagers are going to get sniped. So Guitarcheese with a bit of an off attack there. Did not have +2 ready.
He kind of walked into a concave there in the flank, so that was probably not the best idea there.
Yeah, great defense by Prototype all in all. Managed to hold on long enough for those upgrades, for those Hydralisks to start paying for themselves, and Guitarcheese still has no tech other than this Roach Ravager force.
Yeah, and a Prototype is actually enjoying a +1 armor upgrade lead, so his Roaches are much stronger. Compared to Guitarcheese.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not a great deal. Carapace is not super important, but it definitely matters. And the Hydralisk tech is also very important. Even though there's only a few Hydralisks, they do so much damage when they're protected by those Roaches. Guitarcheese just sticking with Roach Ravager. I think that's the hill he's decided to die on. Or win on. He's going to take a 5th base faster than Prototype will, but he's going in, again getting that same nice position that he got in that first engagement, but actually this is a pretty even concave, and with those Hydralisks, with that extra upgrade, Guitarcheese needs better than an even concave. He needs to tech up or get something done. These Ravagers stuck in the back as the Roaches charge forward for Prototype, and suddenly Prototype has a bit of a lead in this game. 6 drones up, has the tech lead, is getting Hydralisk speed, already has Hydra range. This 5th base is the one saving grace for Guitarcheese, but he has to keep it alive. He's going for a good concave here. Gonna try and flank this thing, but Prototype's like, no, I see what you're doing there, and I'm not gonna play.
Oh, man.
Baneling speed on the way for Guitarcheese, but there's not really that many Hydralisks for Prototype. It's not like he's going for that mass Hydralisk army against Mutas, so I don't think this Baneling speed's really gonna do much.
Okay, now it's just all about positioning. Right here in this battle here, out in the middle of the map. Looks like Prototype is actually going to go ahead and retreat here a little bit.
Well, Prototype has the tech advantage.
Oh, here we go.
So we can afford to do that. Guitarcheese moving forward. That's a lot of Hydralisks. Some Corrosive Biles get some nice shots off. Actually, Prototype isn't dodging out of them, so this could be a great fight from Guitarcheese. Look at that concave. He just gets all of these Corrosive Biles hitting exactly where he wants them, and this could actually be the fight Guitarcheese needed, but even so, all these Hydralisks stay alive.
Oh, jeez.
And the Hydralisks win the day, getting a 30 supply lead for Prototype. Guitarcheese just not teching up. Lurkaden even on the way for Prototype, and he's going to back off with all of these valuable Hydralisks. Actually, he's not going to back off. These Roaches trying to go in and get some good trades against the vulnerable naked Hydralisks, and they will. With the Speedlings coming in, all of these Hydralisks could actually die.
Yeah, oh, that would be huge for Guitarcheese here.
That's the exact fight that he needed, but I still don't even know if it's going to be enough. And as a lot of these Hydralisks actually stay alive.
Oh man, but Banelink speed did finish, so he needs some Banelinks to defend against these Hydra. I think that would actually help a lot during the engagement.
They certainly could have helped about 15 seconds ago without roaches to defend.
Yeah.
But even so, yes, this is not that many roaches here. If Guitarchis can, he's only got 2 Banelinks. But if Guitarchis can dive onto these Hydralisks, that might give him a chance. But it's still 30 supply up per prototype. And Guitarchi is showing no inclination to get Carapace upgrades, no inclination to get a Hydralisk Den, no inclination to get Lurkers. Every second that passes is good for Prototype, and Prototype is the one attacking. He's getting 7 Lurkers all of a sudden.
Oh man, this might be actually the finishing blow here.
I think it could be. Prototype has held out for a long time. He's now maxed out. Guitarchi's not able to tech up to what he needs to build up to in order to stop this army.
There's no Overseer as well. Man, this is gonna catch Guitar Cheese by surprise here.
Oh man, you're right. There is no Overseer. That's just... Oh god, that's gonna be awful. He sees the Lurkers now, but he can't... Oh man, he just attacks right into the Lurkers, and Guitar Cheese's army just completely and utterly melts. It just disappears, and that is it. GG. It will be 1-1 as Ris3n brings the series back.
We got a series, boys.
We definitely do. Darchi's just staying on that roach ravager for a bit too long.
Yeah. And I think he had his chance at that first big attack. He didn't take down that 4th base. I think that was actually the turnaround, as Guitarchis was behind with the upgrades and also with the tech of the Hydras and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. That would have been really nice. If you'd waited for +2 to attack as well, and got a better engagement in that second fight, it could have turned out a bit differently. But in the end, Prototype just proving to be slightly better in that game.
Yeah.
It was very close, just very back and forth. Our next match will be Hyohu versus Blitz Jr. Will be another ZVZ.
And that will be on the map about Genesis.
Yeah. And then it'll be a PVT on Catalyst after that. We will be absolutely going to at least a Game 4. Would be nice to see a Game 5 in this ATL finals.
Yeah, that would be a epic way to go out.
I certainly wouldn't complain if Psyx took the next 2 games, but seeing a Game 5 I think would be best for everyone.
Either way, both teams have done pretty well to get this far into the ATL Team League. I think you could consider this as maybe a semi-pro team league, because the skill levels of the people that are playing in it are pretty high.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You've got some just really great players who play in this tournament. They may not be professional gamers, but they are definitely strong low to mid GMs. Definitely nothing to shake a stick at. Someone who forget watching the pro gamers all the time how rare those people are.
Yeah.
How even a top 100 GM is like in the top few hundred players in the world. Like, people talk a lot of shit about North America, but I'd say like a top 100 GM is still as good as like the top even like 300 or 400 on Korea. The difference is not as huge as people sometimes make it out to be. It's not like Masters 2 Korea equals like top 50 GM NA.
Yeah, I have to agree.
So these players are in the top few hundred players in the world. It's just that we tend to see the top 100 or so, the top few dozen over and over again, and we forget just how small that number of professional gamers truly is.
Out of all the players in the world. I'm like at I'm like at around 5K MMR, and I can't fathom like I have to get like 1,000 more MMR just to like at least get close to their level. It's like crazy.
I know, right? It's like the difference between you and a 4K player. Like the difference between you and a D3. That's the difference between us and these guys.
Yeah. Alright, so we're about to get into our next game as soon as the lobby starts. I'm going to actually switch it back to Eastern region.
You know, I did some calculations once. Given some people get to like 7K on Korea, if you add an extra like few hundred MMR to that compared to the NA server, that means if you're in like Masters 3, in terms of the range of MMRs from the very bottom of Bronze to the very top of GM, If you're in Masters 3, you're in like the top 4% of players. And in MMR, you're about halfway.
Oh man, that's crazy.
So, someone like me is as far away from like Rogue as someone in Bronze is as far away from me. Like, and when I think of playing a player in Bronze, like, there's nothing I would ever be able to do to even for this. There's nothing that Bronze could ever do to make me even think for the slightest second I might be in danger. You could play 100 games and not once would I even break a sweat.
Yeah.
And that's what it would be like if I were to play one of those top pros. They're just that good.
Man, I just can't imagine being like at 7k MMR and like each game you have to make sure that you actually win, because you will be like one loss will equal to like what, like minus 100 MMR or something, like crazy.
Well, if you're playing against like 6k players, then a win probably only gives you like 2 or 3 MMR, and a loss would give you like 50. So yeah. That's pretty nuts. You've not only got to be able to beat everyone else, you've got to beat them significantly more than 50% of the time.
Yeah.
To get that MMR. But there are people who are that good.
I wonder if there's ever a day, or ever will be a day, where someone reaches like 8k MMRs. It'll be like all-time high or something.
Things would have to change a hell of a lot on the ladder for that to be possible, I think.
A race will have to be significantly
Or you'd have to get
OP.
like, or you'd have to get like a Flash of StarCraft 2. Maybe then Flash only had like only quote unquote had like a 65% win rate in professional games or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be getting into game number 3 of this series.
Yep, it's gonna be a good one. Biogenesis can actually be a map where a lot of crazy things happen. I expect maybe some rush or cheese.
Oh yeah, a ZVZ on Abiogenesis. Don't blink or you'll miss it.
I'm pretty sure at least one of them will go for a 12 pool or something.
And in the top right, in the top left, representing Psionic Aftermath, looking to bring this series back, having just lost the lead, it is the purple Zerg, it is Hyohu, the Japanese Zerg. Not that many Japanese players in StarCraft, but Hyohu is one of them. And in the bottom right, representing Ris3n, it is the yellow Zerg, it is Blitz Jr. And remember how we were talking about potential for crazy things? Take a look at Hyohu's base.
Yep, here we go, guys. A rush is about to be on for Hyohu. Although I think Blitz actually might. Oh no, actually it looks like he's gonna get his hatchery first.
This is like the fastest gas I have ever seen.
Yeah, he's like super all in here.
Oh yeah, like he took his gas at like 12 supply. It was just the first thing he did in the game. Even before he said GLHF, he'd taken that gas.
Oh man, but
he's gonna have.
But Blitz is actually going for a pretty safe opening here. I think he's gonna actually be able to.
Yeah, he's going for full first, which is smart on Abiogenesis. So it does look like he has the advantage in terms of builds.
Oh, well,
we'll have to see. He's building a Baneling Nest at 1 minute and 20 seconds into the game. He's
super all in.
You don't get much more all in than that. Even No Regret would have to admit this is getting close to an all in. Sending those Zerglings across the map in a way that does not, that the Overlords do not see them.
Oh, nice.
He's being very, very sneaky.
Yeah.
He's building the Baneling Nest before speed, which indicates to me he wants to go for that immediate, sudden impact. Speed is more of a quote-unquote long-term investment. And the Zerglings will start eating away at this hatchery, and if Blitz Jr. probably had no idea what was going on until right this moment. Will this hatchery be cancelled? That is the question. 2 Banelings already on the way. We're probably going to see another couple morphing very shortly.
Man, these drones are being pulled, and the Banelings are about to be morphed in here. And the
I think he's mistimed this. This hatchery goes down.
Oh my god!
And then he just pulls away before any lings die. But the Banelings! Oh my god!
Oh my god! Whoa, that was close. Oh, but he's
trying to flood in. Banelings.
Oh,
Baneling gets a great connection. The Queen goes down. This is really bad for Blitz. He does have a 7 worker lead, but that could disappear in the blink of an eye. Especially, oh man, these drones are just a juicy, juicy target for this Baneling. One Baneling is not enough to kill it, but with these Zerglings doing their job, it could. This Baneling not quite getting its connections yet. It actually connects on 2 Lings.
Oh,
And another Queen will get immediately surrounded, immediately killed off. Worker count is evening up. Baneling's just being morphed in Blitz Jr.'s face. The worker count has evened up all of a sudden. Here, who's taking a hatchery, he could actually just back off right now and he'd still be fine, but I don't think he wants to back off. Ooh, the Speedlings will hold this, but the Baneling gets a nice connection. Another couple of drones probably going to go down before this is all said and done, but here who doesn't actually have speed even started, I don't think.
Yeah.
So, we could see some counter pressure from Blitz.
Oh, this is going to be a tight... If he can actually defend this, I think he will be in a pretty good spot, as he does... Blitz does not even have a second hatchery here.
Here's the thing, it's 2 hatcheries to 1, and here who has the work advantage. The funny thing is, the situations of both players have just been reversed. Blitz Jr. is now the one who is all in off 1 base. Hyohu is now the one who has to defend. But Blitz, instead of the Baneling advantage to no Banelings, it is a speed advantage to no speed. So, we've seen an all-in from Hyohu turn into an all-in from Blitz. This is a crazy game.
Oh, I think,
welcome to Abiogenesis.
Hyohu, I think, will be safe, as he has the Baneling and 2 Queens to defend against this. So.
Oh yeah, with 2 Queens, I think he's going to be totally fine. He's going to be making more and more coins to defend this.
This is an all-in by Blitz here. He's going for his...
He has to.
Yeah, his counter all-in here.
As I said, he has to. He doesn't have a second base.
Yeah.
If he can't kill this natural, or do a absolute shit ton of economic damage, there's nothing he can do. But look at all these Lings and Banes at the top of the ramp from Hyohu.
This is it.
Yeah, I think that Blitz is going to be just fine. He needs to focus down these Banelings with the... Oh man, that's great connections from Hyohu actually, but he... from Blitz, I mean. But Hyohu just pulls the rest of his stuff back. And I don't think Blitz is going to break him here. I think Hyohu's got this. Yeah. He's got a 15 supply lead. He's got the 2 bases. He's even going for a counterattack. That's how confident he is. He's like, you know what? I've got 3 Queens. I've got Lings and Banes. I don't even need all of these units here to defend you all in. And that's when you know you're ahead.
Yeah, that's
it's like, alright, you're on 1 base, but I still don't need all my stuff. Baneling's trying to get some connections. A Queen doesn't even go down. Oh, man.
Wow.
Hyohu just so far ahead right now, it's ridiculous. Sends these Zerglings into the main base
might get this
as a counterattack.
Well.
I think he is going to get it. But some Lings get pulled back. Not all of these Zerglings were focusing the Queen, and so the Queen will stay alive by the skin of its teeth. But 4 drones go down, and every drone matters so much. 10 drones for Blitz now. 42 to supplies to 17, and Hyohu's basically got this game.
He's pulling the boys.
He's got double the drone count. He's got double the army supply. Decent Baneling shots. And Hyohu's now the one attacking across the map, and Blitz Jr. just GG's out. He knows he's never going to get back on Hyohu's side of the map. And it is 2-1 up for Psionic Aftermath. We are on match point.
Alright, so here we go.
That's the sound of Blitz Jr. just falling off a cliff.
Yeah, the ambulance just came for Blitz. That's the ambulance in the background. Sorry for the background noise.
Your ambulances sound like someone screaming. That's oddly macabre. Like they're describing what they're going to see when they arrive. That's very unusual to me as an Australian. We don't have ambulances that sound like that.
Oh, really? How does it sound?
It sounds more like a police siren from the US, like the wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo type thing.
Okay. Oh, that.
But a little bit of a different pitch from the police, so you can tell the 2 apart. It's difficult to describe, but if you close my eyes and played me one of them, I'd instantly be able to tell you which one it was.
All right, so looks like we're just waiting for the next.
While we wait, I'm gonna use the bath. Oh wait, no, we're just about to start. No time for a pee break here. We're going fast and we're going furious.
Yep. All right, so the the 4th map will be on Catalyst.
It will be a TVP between Kuna Matata and Hermione.
I've seen actually I've faced Hermione before. Hermione is a pretty active Ris3n player, plays in a a lot on ladder as well as in Clan Wars and Team Leagues. So
Yeah, I've
pretty
seen them
familiar
before.
person. Yeah.
As for MMR, they are just a little bit outmatched compared to Kuna. But I'm not sure how strong Kuna Matata's TVP actually is.
Well, I gotta say,
So,
Kuna Matata actually, I believe he's been playing almost or all the ATL matches throughout like the regular season and the playoffs. So he's a regular for us.
oh yeah, 50% win rate exactly for Kuna in TVP. Whereas, by contrast, Protoss versus Terran, 58% win rate for Hermione, so Hermione's doing pretty well in the matchup. It is only a 200 MMR difference, so it should be a pretty even match, all in all.
Yeah. All right.
Kuna with a slight edge on paper, but 200 MMR, best of one, anything can happen.
Anything can
I've
happen,
certainly
that's
beaten
for
players
sure.
with much more than 200 MMR before me on the ladder, and the ladder is a best of one.
Indeed. Um. Okay, so I guess we're going on U.S. West.
Yeah, we making the game.
Okay. Yeah, I was on U.S. East, so gonna have to remake
And
it.
once we get into the lobby, I'm going to be back in a couple minutes so I can use the bathroom because a TVP on Catalyst might take some time.
All right, yeah, no problem. I'll go ahead and introduce the players while you go to the bathroom, and then you should
Thank
be
you very
back.
much.
Yeah. Thank you all guys for tuning in into this Alpha Team League Finals. It is the Alpha Team League Season 10. So
A lot of history there.
yeah, a lot of team
I believe
leagues.
Psyx has came third in the ATL last season,
Oh,
if I remember correctly.
thanks. No, I don't remember actually. But thank you, shout out to Jay Skippy for the compliment. He says, Sal Loopy, best casting duo. Woo.
Sloopy, Saloopy, I love
Sal Loopy, yeah. I guess that's our ship name.
it. Apparently so. I prefer Sloopy though.
Huh?
So I like Sloopy though. It doesn't quite match my name, but I think it flows off the tongue better.
Oh, okay, I see.
Anyway, I'll be back in a couple minutes while you introduce the players.
Alright. Nope, it's Salameth is the Aussies actually, so I'm actually from the States. Alright. Game has started. We're about to enter our fourth game here. And X is on match point. If they win this, they win the finals here. But let's see if Ris3n can come back and tie it up and send it to an ace match. So let me go ahead and just update the score. Is a best of 5, 2-1. Alright, so here at the top left, we have our yellow Protoss from Team Ris3n. It is Hermione. And also from Harry Potter, but anyhow. At the bottom right, we have our red Terran player. He is from Psionic Aftermath, representing the 20-year anniversary here. You see that? That's actually pretty nice. It is Kuna Matata. Alright, so interesting placement from Hermione. I like this. I actually really like this, as there is the cliff that Reapers can jump in through. So automatically Hermione is going to go ahead and try to block that off. I don't know if a gateway is enough. Let me see. I haven't played too much here, so I haven't done this wall. Maybe. I think this might be a good wall. We'll see, I guess. Looks like Hermione actually doing a good job scouting. Oops. Sorry for the zoom in. Gonna go ahead and scout, see if there's any proxies. But unfortunately, Kuna Matata is not going for a proxy. He's gonna go for a standard opening here.
And I'm back.
Alright, welcome back.
like you said, looks pretty standard from both players so far. We'll have to see how this game unfolds.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads to an important question. Sloopy, Saloopy, or Snoopy Van?
Snoopy Van.
Let's go over the pros and cons, right?
Uh-huh.
So, Sloopy, I think, rolls off the tongue best, but that's SL. That doesn't match my name,
Yeah.
right? And the rules say it's got to be,
A
an
combination.
amalgamation of both names.
Yeah, yeah.
Saloopy, shorter, easy to remember, has a pretty even match of how much of each of our names is part of it, about half, right?
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Snoopy Vanth, on the other hand, a bit biased in Snoopy's favour. It's got Snoopy's entire name, or 5 letters if you want to make it Snoop, and then I, SNOOPI, and a bit longer. But also, it flows off the tongue reasonably well, and it's a portmanteau of both names.
Uh-huh. I would have to go with Jay Skippy's ship name for us. I think Saloopy is probably the best one out of those 3. I mean, in my opinion.
Fair enough. You're objectively wrong, but I respect your opinion anyway.
Which one do you prefer?
I'm not really sure between Sloopy and Snoopy Vanth. I guess it depends on how important the rules of grammar regarding ships are. But Saloopy's fine, so really whatever the viewers decide is what's going to end up the right way. And we do see a couple of Marauders with concussive shells at the top of that ramp, looking to catch this Stalker, and actually the Stalker's going around, but the Marauder still might just catch it. If they get a shot off on this Stalker, they can concussive shell it, but Kuna doesn't catch it.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention there.
Well, I think he might have been paying attention, but I think it was just out of vision of the Marauders until just the last moment, and then there was really nothing the Marauders could do.
That could have been a
good move by Hermione. Yeah, it would have been, but that's why Hermione did that.
Yeah.
Now going for the Blink. Now the interesting thing about Blink is it's very difficult to actually really scout with it, but Hermione was active with that first Stalker and did see the 2 Marauders, so that does limit what Kuna can do, at least a little bit. Notice that there can't be a super fast like Widow Mine Drop or anything coming his way. We only do now just see the factory. So I guess Kingslayer was right when he said you got to be active with those Stalkers if you're going to do a Twilight build, because I never liked the Twilight build because you can never see what the hell your opponent's up to. But Hermione has found that out and didn't even lose a Stalker for it. Really well done.
Yeah, and also Hermione's moving out with a Adept, so that's going to actually provide some scouting information for Hermione as well.
Yeah, the Adept Shade moved from 2 range to 4 during patch 4.0.
Yeah, I as a Protoss appreciate that really much.
Oh yeah, with 2 range you couldn't see anything.
Yeah, you
used to be able to see like 8, couldn't you?
You're just gonna you would just usually shade into your death, and you wouldn't even know about it.
There you go.
Oh,
so actually, we do see
this Reaper actually denies the dirt from Hermione. Oh, gets the probe. So well done.
Very nice. And in the meantime, Hermione does see a lot of bio from Kuna Matata. So Hermione knows what's coming. Charge is on the way, Immortals being produced, but there's really nothing but Blink Stalkers for Hermione at the moment. So Kuna's going to go with these Marauder Heavy Force with these concussive shells, and probably try and deny this 3rd base, I think. We do have a couple of pylons on the way for Hermione, indicating Hermione is worried about 1 pylon powering shield batteries and being sniped down, which is a reasonable thing to worry about. I think Kuna is probably just going to go with those first 2 medivacs.
Carrier has
Does have +1 finishing. Does he have stim? Yes, he does. So Kuna could definitely get a bit of pressure done on this 3rd base with the medivacs when they come out.
All right.
3rd base still not started for Kuna, but I think he's going to start it soon. He's only got 2 barracks. He's not really putting on any dedicated pressure here.
I think he's just waiting for his combat shield and also those 2 medevacs. So I think
waiting on the medivacs.
Yeah, by the time he reaches there, I think combat shield might barely actually gets done. So that'll be a nice time there. And he does have +1
just
already.
Done. This observer is going to see it. Really good observer placement by Hermione. Sees it moving across the map. Knows what's going on. And Kuna can't really go up this ramp because Hermione's prepared. Actually moving a little bit back from the ramp so that Kuna might try for it. Oh, these force fields are going to be good. Kuna needs to retreat these. Yes, he does. And he picks up the...
Oh!
Blink forward, tries to get the medivac, but kills a couple of stalkers. Blinks forward past his own force field. A bit of an ill-conceived move there from Hermione. So all in all, a pretty solid trade both sides, which is not what you really want when you've got such a perfect position. But charge is now done. +1/+1 on the way. 5 gates being produced. So Kuna's time is pretty much shut down, and he knows it. He's just building his own third base behind this. Coming in with a couple of Widow Mines as well, though. I think there might be a misrally. Yep. They just head right on back. Kuna has a pretty big supply lead, though.
Yeah.
But Hermione has the 8 gates now, building more and more. Not quite 8 gates, but has 6 gates with 2 more on the way. So, one thing I've recently learned about Protoss is they can almost be kind of Zerg-like in their army movements. They want to build as few units as possible, get a ton of gateways, and then just start smashing out those units. And that's what Hermione's going to start doing, building them 8 at a time fairly shortly and starting to catch up in that supply count. You don't want constant production as Protoss.
Oh, there's no defense here at the main, and he's going to actually lift off all his, pretty much all his army there.
Oh, that is really good. One medivac actually doesn't unload until right now. The Cyber Core goes down. So does a pylon, and he's just gonna probably... Good! Oh, that's some really good Widowmine connections. Could he actually fight this head on? No, not quite. Does retreat. Oh, but loses another medivac. Loses a full medivac there. But another two Marauders and 2 Widowmines, a very standard hit squad right there. Will take out a bunch of probes. Well, actually only a few probes, but does force a lot of loss of mining time. And kills some charge lots. But all in all, I think that was a good trade for Hermione. Hermione's catching up in that supply lead.
Yeah, I was agreeing with you.
Units lost still in Kuna Matata's favor, but not by much. Pretty even game so far.
Yeah, even the upgrades are even so
Carrier
far
has
as well.
arrived.
Yeah, but now Kuna has 3 Liberators, and there's only a few Blink Stalkers for Hermione. So Kuna's starting to get into this tech-heavy army. Getting another engineering bay, getting an armory. He's going to start 2-2 shortly. We have 4 Liberators for Kuna Matata, so this could be a really nasty fight to try and take.
Oh,
And he's just going to start... Yep, start marching them forward. Hallucinated Oracle going across the map to scout. But he doesn't need to scout, he knows exactly what's going on. These charge lots in the main are not really going to be able to move out without some serious damage, some serious hurt being dished down. This gateway just goes down in a matter of seconds, and these Liberators are leapfrogging forward. The Warp Prism does go down. And good kiting overall from Kuna Matata, but is it enough? So many charge lots, a lot of them will go down to the Widow Mines, but the kiting is not quite there. So these charge lots are so low.
Oh no.
But they aren't dying. As Kuna Matata forced to back off. And the Zealots will start to recharge their shields. If only there was just one more Widow Mine shot could have taken out like 15 supply worth of charge lots right there.
Oh, that would have been really good for Kuna Matata there.
Very close defense. Nail biter of a game. But Kuna Matata has 64 workers to 54 of Hermione. That, I think, is the real story. Kuna Matata, the Terran player, is very far ahead in workers and continuing to get that supply lead. So Hermione doesn't even have Storm on the way.
Yeah,
so
Hermione...
No, I don't like this move out. I suppose there aren't any Liberators. There aren't any Liberators, actually. It's just Marines, Marauders, and Medivacs, but this is still not a very tech-heavy army.
But Hermione does have 2-2, compared to 1-1.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
So this...
But I think Kuna's just going to try and kite back to these Widow Mines, kill these charge lots that way. Already a bunch of charge lots just go down practically for free. And Kuna's just kiting back really well. Blinks forward does Hermione, but Kuna's just taking a 50 supply lead all of a sudden.
Oh wow, the macro is rolling.
Yeah, this game is really starting to shift all of a sudden in Kuna Matata's favor. He's just got so many more workers. A 4th base on the way for Hermione, but Hermione doesn't even have the gases. Only has 1 gas at the natural and has no gases at the 3rd, and actually has oversaturated that main base. Another engagement coming in. These charge lots starting to get whittled away one by one as the Liberators defend against the army, but Kuna Matata is 180 supply to 117. Every engagement that happens, Kuna just seems to be getting better and better. And I think a 2-2 timing, which will mean an upgrade neutrality between these 2 players, could well just end this game.
Yeah.
And Kuna's going for it. 2-2 is almost done. +1 weapons for Liberators as well.
If Hermione had Storm, I would say maybe he can actually even it out. But yeah, with no storms here, this army
Exactly.
might. Yeah, just oh my god, he's actually getting trapped here. He could get trapped here. Oh man, he could have gone for Hermione's army there. Oh. Oh my
Tries
god.
for a flank, but it does not work. There's just so many units here for Kuna Matata. I don't see how Hermione can hold. If he can hold up till 3-3, maybe he can get something done. Or if Kuna Matata tries to charge up this ramp, but Kuna Matata smart enough not to do that. Kuna Matata even taking this 4th base, continuing to rally units across. Hermione does know where the army is, but will it be enough? Widow Mines are burrowing, charge lots steadily dying. Oh, and this Archon even almost getting sniped, but not quite. Liberators coming forward steadily, little by little, and Hermione tries to take a fight, but he can't.
He's evacuating this 3rd, and he can actually pick out the 4th if he wants to.
The 3rd goes down, and yeah, like you said, the 4th can pretty much go down for free if that's what Kuna Matata wants, and if Kuna Matata even knows it's there. Actually, I don't think Kuna does. Counter-attack on the other side of the map with charge lots, but it's not going to be quite enough. It will deal some pretty significant damage, but Kuna Matata actually forced to bring his whole army back. This is exactly the kind of move that Hermione needs, but even this move is not enough. Hermione needs more moves like that. 8 probes go down. That's very nice. Brings the army back, buys time. But Hermione doesn't have Storm on the way. Hermione's buying time, but buying time for what? That is the real question.
Oh my god, this MVP Zella in the main. Okay, finally.
Yeah, just doing so much damage. Even
14.
killing more and more Marines. Oh wow, this Zealot is a hero of Aya.
Worker count now
10
even
kills
here.
already. And this Liberator will finally take it down. Like I said, the work count is even, but the army supply is absolutely not. And Kuna Matata is getting +3 armor. Well, in the meantime, Storm is not being created by Hermione. Hermione does not have time to create it, and there is now 8 Liberators for Kuna Matata. Kuna is just going to get a more and more Liberator heavy army, and the tech to deal with it just is not going to be created.
Yeah, these warpings of Zealots aren't doing too much, so he's pretty much throwing away units after units.
16 probes have gone down to them so far, so the latest one wasn't that great, but
Yeah.
Kuna Matata does fend that off, and more importantly, Kuna Matata had to stay back as long as that warp prison was alive, but it no longer is.
Game paused.
Kuna calling for a pause.
I wonder what's holding him up. Okay.
Not sure what that was, but need to referee to unpause it.
Game resumed.
And here we go for what could be the final fight of this game, what could be the final fight of this series, what could be the final fight of the Alpha Team League.
Oh my God.
As these two armies actually pass each other, this could get crazy.
Yeah, this could be a base trade here. But remember,
Probably-
Protoss has a recall, so he can recall as well.
Yeah, that's true. And at this point, Kuna should be like, wait a minute, where the hell is your army?
Oh my god!
Oh, no.
No, he's gonna
Kuna's
actually
turning around.
Yeah.
Have to lose this orbital immediately. This could actually be really good for Hermione. I would have liked to see Kuna actually keep pressing forward. Oh, this could be really bad. Kuna Matata trying to push up his own ramp. Oh my god!
Oh, but the force field. Oh my god, these zealots, these charged lot, all get decimated.
Oh, the rocks do go down, but this is the best fight Hermione could possibly hope for.
But will
The
it be
Liberators are all bunched up, they're all gonna die.
Oh,
But even then,
recall.
it's not enough. The recall comes out, but so much damage done in those 4 seconds. 40 supply melts in those 4 seconds while it can't fight back. That was the best fight Hermione could have ever gotten, and it wasn't enough.
Yeah, all of a sudden, the 175 supply lead for Kuna Matata against the 94 of Hermione, and he is gonna go ahead across the map and charge, and maybe, actually maybe, make it official that X will win this finals. This
That
Alpha
wasn't
Team
even all of a
finals.
sudden, though. It was an 80 supply lead before, and it's an 80 supply lead now.
Oh, yeah.
Hermione, with a heroic effort, managed to take an even fight against an army 80 supply higher, which was really strong of him, but not enough to win this game. The army of Hermione is nothing but Chargelots and Blinkstalkers, and it is on the run against this bio.
Oh my, can somehow Hermione actually pull this off? I don't know. It's looking pretty tough here.
I don't see any way out. I think this is the end of this game. The bio is very low, but it charges forward. There's just so many units, so much DPS.
One more stem. Oh my god, these guys are just
Hermione
running
does not
for
want
their
to
life.
leave this game, but there are no units here. The Liberators
Oh,
and
there's
more
DTs.
Bio will flank this,
Oh, but the DTs get cleaned up.
and the army is surrounded. There is nothing left for for Hermione. Kuna has a 130 supply lead. GG!
And Psy-X takes the grand finals 3-1.
Getting revenge on Ris3n for the loss in the group stage. And Psionic Aftermath is your Alpha Team League Season 10 champions. But what a match.
Yeah.
What a series. Very well done by Ris3n.
Yeah, well done by Ris3n and Psy-X. Both made it to the finals, so well done by both. But
Ris3n went undefeated up until now and put
Yeah.
on one hell of a fight in the grand final.
that
We
was-
couldn't have asked for more as viewers as casters.
Yeah. So there we go. Congrats again, once again, to Psy-X. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the games. I certainly did. There was a lot of back and forth.
Oh yeah, they were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
We have 41 viewers right now. Thank you, everyone.
Wow,
for tuning
thank
in.
you. Yeah, actually, I think this is like the highest viewers that I've seen during casting.
Yeah,
live.
well, this is the ATL finals. It was
Yeah.
on Team Liquid. People like to tune in and see what's up.
Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. You have any more last words or shout outs before we wrap this up?
Absolutely. Let's check the tournament roster because I know we've got quite a few matches coming up. Okay.
We do have
On the 20... Go on.
we do have tomorrow the all-in-nighters match, as well as the MVD Cup, the in-house one.
Is that tomorrow? It looks like it's on Friday, according to
Oh, right, that's on
the
Friday.
roster.
Yeah.
So on Friday at 10 a.m. Oh, not 10 a.m. 7 p.m. EDT. We will have All in the Nighters, which is a 2-diamond, 2-master clan war, best of 7, just like this one, but all kill instead of Pro League. And an hour later, we have the MVD Cup, which is our internal diamond only, diamond or below cup. We got some great players there. And then the next 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, both at 7 p.m. EDT, we have Tawat matches. First against Lit Esports and then against Cloud M. Tawat is a best of 9 all kill with 2 diamonds and 3 masters, and I will actually be playing in the Masters 3 slot, most likely, in at least one of them. Because it's 2 diamonds, 1 master 3, and 2 unrestricted masters.
Oh, nice.
So we got 4 great events coming up over the next few days. So
Awesome.
if you tuned in from Team Liquid, if you liked what you see, by all means, please tune in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We got great stuff all weekend.
For sure. And one last 100-bit cheer from Lil Nighters, so thank you for the support for Psy-X. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, congrats once again to Psionic Aftermath, your Alpha Team League Season 10 champions. And we'll see you guys next time. Hope you have a good one.